So I'm going to share this video here, and this is Jenna Ortega, and sitting down with oh gosh, I can't remember the other actress's name, and these are young actresses, right? And then the hot ticket, I guess, because they're great. Elle Fanning, right? Dakota Fanning, like when she came out, was my favorite actress, and she still is one of my young child actresses. Like I enjoy. Sometimes I love the great talent that these young kids bring out, and so this is Jenna Ortega talking about the
We have
strong
seen
female
plenty
characters.
of strong women in the past 10 years.
Yeah,
The ones that come to mind immediately are Rey Skywalker, Captain Marvel, Batwoman, and Warrior Galadriel. There are plenty more. The issue with writing female characters in a way in which they can do no wrong is that it rips out and tears apart the chance of the audience being able to relate to those individuals. We live in a time when feminism is promoted and there is a narrative that women can do no wrong, but this isn't true, and the majority of women agree with this. They want to see someone on the screen who goes through trials and tribulations and fails a lot of times, because whenever we are put into difficult situations, we don't just girl boss our way out of them. We have to face consequences, whether they are fair or not. Of course, an actress who has seen a surge in popularity playing Wednesday Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday, has once again spoken out against the woke Hollywood narrative. And I've talked about Ortega a lot of times on this channel. I went over how she didn't feel as if the writers of Wednesday were being faithful to the character, so she notified them about her concerns. And what did she get in return? A bunch of chicken shit mainstream twat waffles calling her toxic and all the usual buzzwords that so many of us
yeah,
have become accustomed to. Ortega and Elle Fanning a few days ago did an interview for Variety as part of their Actors on Actors series, where they completely demolished the typical strong woman archetype that is being applied to nearly almost every female character that we see nowadays. Enough from me, hear it for yourself.
I don't know if you feel like this, but um, like I've been reading scripts. It's like they love describing women as like badass, strong, like, and they're always like coming into a room and like they know everything, and it's like, oh, that's a strong woman. It's like, I don't want to watch that. I'm not like that. Like, I love complicated women, and I want to play evil women, and that messiness is like that's what I feel like I try to bring that into Catherine, because she's not always right all the time.
Also, when you're watching a project, you want to feel like the characters or representatives that you're seeing of yourself on screen
Yeah.
are relatable or attainable. And sometimes when you're constantly walking and there's cars blowing up in the background and things like that,
Yeah,
it's
like-
cool and it's awesome. It
It's
looks
like-
beautiful, but I don't know anything about her. So it's hard to
Totally.
develop some sort of
Yeah.
admiration or connection with women when they're written very two-dimensional and
Yeah.
don't really
Or
give
it's
you
like,
enough.
to be a strong woman, you have to be this. To be,
Exactly.
it's like, again, putting us into a box.
What they just said there, spot on. Whenever you watch a movie now, you either get two outcomes. One,
thoughts, gentlemen. Like I mean, these are young ladies who are like at the right at the pinnacle of their talent, and I think when I like when I heard about her getting, like slammed for saying, "Hey, I wanted to make sure this my character was real." It was that I changed because I felt that writers, and I think these modern writers have no idea how to write characters and realism into characters, or honor the characters that have gone before, the creations and the creators that have gone before. So they put in their own little crappy, like let me give you something. So that we for Incredi-Girl #1 we offered two options for actually getting drawn into it. So one of the guys, and so the final tier, which was both got sold $150, right? US, both all in got sold. And one of the guys came back to me and said, "Hey, I don't I don't want myself in it. I want my original character in it." I said, "That is freaking amazing. I'm gonna be able to put you in my comic. It'd be so cool. I'm gonna get Kevin to draw you." So, and I said to him, like, "Listen, before I do that, tell me about your character. Give me a bit of a bio. Tell me about his attitude. What is his ethos?" So when I actually put a sentence in his mouth in the story, it's him. not me putting it in there,
Hmm.
right? Because this is the first time he appears in my comic book, but it's not my character, right? So if he's not my character, I can't be disloyal to that character, because what if, you know, that one sentence is what like brings people to love that character when they first see him in my book, or destroys that character, because there might be some way a writer that might be like, not his ethics, not his morals, not his what makes that character the character, right? And so I sent that email back to him saying, look, I'm not going to start writing it until I get something back, right? And then I'll go and look at the right page to put it in, or the right panel, to put that character in, because you created an original character, and you're allowing me to use it in my book, and you're actually paying me right to do it. So I have the honor of being loyal to you as a backer, but also to bring your character to life in my book before anybody else gets to see them in a crossover. So it's almost like a crossover. So how do I do honor to that? Because you helped me pay for my book to get made, and my artists are going to get paid because of that. And so I look at these idiots who, there's 20 per room, trying to be the ones that actually get to write the script, as people who don't actually know what they're talking about, or that what they're writing about these characters. And you have to have someone who's out here like Jenna, spends hours or days or months watching all the videos, movies, reading all the books and stuff, trying to get into the head of this character. Because if you're not doing that as an actor, you shouldn't be getting the job, right? So, because this is your dedication to your art, like your method acting or whatever the stuff you do. Because I've come up as an actor, I've done acting myself, and I've had to go into and look at the characters that I've written, how I would do it, right? When I've had to play Jesus, or when I've had to play, the Simon, the villain, or or whatever, or if I had to play a rat, right, a rapping rat, I had to, look at the movements and how I'd move and everything. So I understand acting. So when I look at these guys writing these fly by night uh, episodes based on iconic, beloved characters. I grew up on Wednesday Addams, right? That whole Addams family, or as a kid. So to see someone like Jenna be so loyal to her craft and to the character amazed me. So when
Right.
they went and slammed her, I was like, you morons, you have someone so dedicated that has lifted this series from being a pathetic, 5 out of 10 on IMDb, hardly watched, to iconic, where their dance moves are based on her, right? Where they love this character so much. If she hadn't been, if she hadn't dedicated herself to be that strong about and being vocal about it, and she's young, right? Young young girl in a room full of adult males and females with $1 million signs behind them, whatever studios backing them, and here you have to do a job, yet she feels that this isn't going the way the actor's supposed to do, and she puts her head out there, and they chop her down, right? They're out there straight away, they chop her down. The writer, who probably is the most useless piece of, whatever, writer in the world, doesn't care for the character, feels like, oh, he's got his fingers, wrapped, and now he's got to go tell mummy and daddy on the internet about it, so that mummy and daddy can turn on the little bully, little girl who she didn't even name anybody. If I was her, I'd go, that was that guy. But he named himself, right? By coming out and saying, yeah, it was my useless writing. Now look at her, she thinks she's stupid. It's like, yeah, I just feel like if we have these actresses coming up, there will be the Ripleys, right? There will be gosh, I can't remember actress name. Who played Ripley?
Sigourney Weaver. Yeah.
Weaver, right? And she will be from Terminator, right? That character,
Sarah
like these,
Connor.
yeah. So these big, huge actresses, like they're so powerful, they were just given movies to work in all the time, working, right? And these are the stars. These are our young up and coming stars for the next generation of the next 50 years as they act. These will be our Judith Collins, right? And so on. These amazing actresses that we remember
Yeah.
forever. But all these other writers, we just know them as like the idiot writers who just had a go at writing something and failed at it, and they're, you know, basically, you know, passing the night. What is it? Train by night. You know, passing the train at night kind of people.
Ships in the
You
night.
know, ships in the night.
Yeah.
And that's the same with, you know, like you're saying with the GI Joe thing. You know, it's like you remove, you don't know what your IP that you're working on. You know, you don't know the history, you don't know the characters, you don't know what characters are beloved, and you want to just go out and do your version of it. That's what they always want to do now. The modern idea of doing a story is take an IP and do their version of it, not the version that's real and that's
Make up
loved.
your own version. You know, don't change the original. Make up your own version. You know?
Yeah. And nobody's gonna like make a big thing, but don't use these characters to push your ideology and
Right.
your beliefs and, you know, whatever you stand on. You know, like, I mean, I don't want to see, you know, her be Indian. I do not want to see, you know, her be Indian. I want her to be who she is supposed to be, right? Right? I like her to stay the same. I don't care. You know, I don't want her to be changed to be anything else than what she is. And this is a, you know, and I think when they keep doing this, they just think well, we'll just replace all the white people, we'll replace all the red hair, then they'll love our character. No, we won't.
Hmm.
We know what we love, and as fans, we know what we love because we've dedicated decades of our lives to them.
Mhm.
Yeah.